Once upon a time, in a hidden corner of the universe, where the moon smells like lavender, there was a magical floating place called Star Island. This island didn't just float in the sky, it danced on the breath of the cosmos. On Starry Island, the grass was made of emerald silk that glowed when you whispered to it, and the trees, oh, the trees didn't grow leaves, they grew tiny silver bells that chimed every single time a breeze passed by. And here lived our hero, Barnaby. He was a gentle bear with fur the color of toasted hazelnuts and paws as soft as fresh marshmallows. Barnaby wasn't a very fast bear, and he wasn't a very loud bear, but he was a very, very kind bear. Every single evening, after the sun dipped below the clouds, Barnaby had a special routine. He would put on his favorite blue and white striped scarf, pull out his little wooden stool, and sit on his balcony with a steaming mug of warm moon cocoa. He loved to count the stars, 1, 2, 7, 23. He would whisper, to Barnaby, the stars weren't just lights in the sky, they were his friends. Good evening, Mr. Orion, he would say softly. Hello there, Little Dipper. You're looking extra bright tonight, like you've been polished by the angels. But on this particular Tuesday, as Barnaby reached for a star-shaped ginger snap, a bright golden flash cut through the velvet sky. Whoosh! It wasn't a shooting star that just passed by. It was a star that was falling. Barnaby watched, his mouth open in a little O of surprise, as the golden spark tumbled down, spinning like a dizzy dancer. Poof! The star had landed right in the thickest part of the cotton candy forest. Barnaby didn't hesitate. He put down his cocoa, grabbed his trusty brass lantern, and tied his scarf a little tighter. Oh my, he whispered, a fallen star. It must be so frightened. Don't worry, little spark. Barnaby is coming to find you. He stepped out into the night. The ground beneath his feet felt like walking on warm sponge cake. As he entered the forest, the pink mist swirled around his ankles. Suddenly, a pair of long, white ears popped out from behind a giant glowing marshmallow bush. It was Rosie the rabbit. Barnaby, Barnaby, Rosie cried out, her nose twitching with excitement. Did you see it? The sky spark. It went zoom over my head and splat into the bushes. Barnaby smiled at his friend. I saw it. Rosie, I'm going to help it get back home, but the forest is so misty tonight, I can't see the trail. Follow me, Rosie chirped. I know every twist and every turn, but be careful. The singing river is extra loud tonight, and the bridge is very, very ticklish. So, the bear and the rabbit set off. They climbed over hills made of blue velvet and crawled under tunnels of weeping willow stars. Finally, they reached the bank of the singing river. The water didn't splash. it sang in a choir of 1,000 tiny voices. La, 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 loo. And there, floating sadly on a giant, translucent lily pad, was the star. It was smaller than Barnaby expected, and its golden light was turning a pale, sickly gray. Barnaby waded into the musical water. It felt like stepping into a bowl of warm silk. He reached out his big, clumsy paws and very, very gently lifted the star. "See," Barnaby whispered to the shivering spark. "You're safe now. My fur is warm, and my heart is big enough for both of us." Just then, a heavy shadow landed on a branch above them. 2 giant golden eyes blinked slowly. It was Professor Ollie the owl. "Who, a delicate situation, indeed," Ollie hooted wisely. "Young Barnaby, a star cannot jump back to the sky. It needs the wind of whispers. You must carry it to the peak of whispers, and when the moon is at its highest, the wind will carry it home." To the peak was long. They had to climb the staircase of clouds, where every step felt like treading on a soap bubble. Barnaby's legs began to ache, but he kept going. "Almost there," he panted. "Just a few more steps." At last, they stood on the very tip of Starry Island. Barnaby held the star high toward the great, vast Milky Way. The star began to pulse, bright gold, then deep orange, then brilliant, brilliant, white. It was time. "Goodbye, little spark," Barnaby said, with a tiny tear in his eye. "Thank you for visiting my island. Don't forget to twinkle twice if you can hear me." With a sudden burst of energy, the star leaped from Barnaby's paws. It soared upward, spinning faster and faster, until it snapped right back into its empty spot in the sky. Pop! The sky had never looked so bright. The walk home was quiet and peaceful. Barnaby reached his little cottage, took off his scarf, and climbed into his bed made of dried lavender and soft moss. "Good night, Rosie. Good night, Ollie." He yawned. "And good night, my little star. See you tomorrow night." Barnaby closed his eyes. The flowers stopped whispering, and the silver bells grew still. Good night, Starry Island. Good night, little explorers. Sleep tight and dream of stars.